Hey, what's up? So, Bungie just pushed out update 9.5.0 for Destiny 2, the Renegades launch update. And if you've logged in at all, you've probably felt the shift immediately. Servers went down for maintenance, and when everything came back up, there's a bunch of new stuff, some long requested quality of life changes, and a wide sandbox pass that's already stirring conversation in the community. First off, the portal got some meaningful surgery. The system that hands out those green portal bonus engrams no longer ties the bonus strictly to your personal stat. Instead, the portal awards use the highest stack among your fire team and will reallocate extras from other activities on the portal if you aren't the highest. That means if you're grouping with someone who's stacked up, those bonus drops get funneled to the highest stack, and anyone else who would have had extras should see one or more reallocated bonus drop notifications when the redistribution happens. Bungie also added a simple visual cue. Any genuinely new activity in the portal gets a new tag, so players know it's not a legacy carryover. These changes are clearly aimed at smoothing the grind and making multi-activity runs less fiddly. Inventory life just got a whole lot easier for collectors and people who keep builds for every mood. Bungie added an extra 300 vault slots. That's a huge lift for anyone who's been juggling seasonal weapons and armor, trying to keep collections complete, or simply refusing to dismantle something because it might be useful 2 seasons from now. Along with the vault increase, there's been talk and visible work on the vault sorting and general inventory UX that should help reduce the pain of item management. This is one of those changes that feels small in a patch note but huge in day-to-day play. On the content front, Renegades material was folded into the portal, and the seasonal hub visuals and tooltips were updated to reflect the new destination and activities. You'll see new Renegades entries and some activity types that weren't present before. Bungie's been clear that the portal is meant to be more dynamic now, and they've added UI touches around tower locations and activity tooltips to make navigation less cryptic. There's also the usual shockwave of new weapons, armor, and exotics tied to the expansion. Some brand new items and a slate of exotic tuning across the board, so don't assume your inventory will perform the exact same way in Crucible or PvE as it did yesterday. Speaking of balancing, the sandbox pass is broad. Ability tuning for all 3 classes landed alongside a weapons tuning sweep that touches archetypes and perk behaviors. Bungie published developer insights leading up to this, and the in-game changes reflect several of those promises. Expect shifts in both PvE and PvP metas as a result. Certain weapon classes got readability and recoil adjustments, some perks were reworked or deprioritized, and a few exotics were either softened or nudged into more interesting roles depending on use case. This kind of sweeping tune tends to produce a patchwork of outcomes, where some builds glow and others quietly slide into bench duty, so players who like to theorycraft will have a busy week ahead testing combinations. Bugs were addressed across a range of systems, from activity-specific issues in higher-tier content to UI and reward handling glitches. Bungie's notes list a long series of fixes, and while none of us expect patch notes to sterilize every problem overnight, there are specific items that should reduce the number of "why didn't I get my reward" moments, particularly in portal runs where the reallocation behavior used to occasionally feel opaque. The developer roadmap and content calendar also call out a follow-up window of iteration to keep refining Renegades in the core systems, so think of this release as a major first step rather than a final state. The launch also came with the expected poor housekeeping. Preloads for consoles and PC were scheduled to go out just after the maintenance window. So if you saw your client pick up a download, that's why. Beyond that, a number of behind-the-scenes tweaks to the seasonal hub, portal visuals, and tower map tooltips were rolled in to make the new content easier to find and to reduce friction for players trying to jump into Renegades activities for the first time. Those map and tooltip changes are small, but they're the sort of polish that keeps new players from getting lost and lets vets find the things they want faster. For creators and players who enjoy digging into nuance, the immediate takeaway is simple. Inventory stress is lower thanks to the vault expansion, the portal is more team-aware with the bonus drop reallocation and new tags, and the sandbox changes demand a fresh look at favorite weapons and skills. The update is large enough that it will ripple across weekend sessions, clan runs, and Crucible queues, and the patch notes reflect both immediate fixes and a plan for short-term iteration to iron out any lingering issues. If you're logging in to test builds or just to enjoy the new Renegades activities, you'll notice a different rhythm to rewards and a slightly smoother quality of life baseline versus what was live before. That's the gist of it. A heavy update with meaningful QOL wins, portal rework details that change how bonus drops behave in teams, a broad sandbox pass, and a commitment from Bungie to continue iterating after launch. Enjoy the new gear, test the changes, and make sure to pay attention to the in-game notifications about reallocated drops so you can see how the system is behaving in your own squads.